connected. So I'll say, that might be super loud. I'm sorry. Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again, for taking a moment to consider principles, the principles of life, to be specific. I had a nap/meditation, and it felt like it was trying to communicate to me this deep understanding about how it is we live, right? The principles with which we live, and specifically how these principles contribute to the way we experience things day to day, the stories we tell ourselves, the things we choose to do, and how, as you keep applying these principles over and over again, life changes, right? Things around you start changing as well. It's almost like the principles you live by become the principles you live by, right? It's like you state to the universe that these are my principles. These are the things that I'm going to heed. These are the things I'm going to respect. And then the universe, in turn, starts providing you with that narrative. And it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one to feel like we're responsible for because it's so much. It's so ethereal, so out there, if you will. But yeah, let's see. Let's see if this topic takes us anywhere. Thank you, Joy V, dear Shannon and Nana, Brother Joe, to even Uncle Becky. So nice to have you friends here with me. Thank you. Let's read something worth saying, shall we? Maybe we'll find something related to principles. Well, like, first thing I opened up to, and this is, I think, might be my single favorite thing worth saying in this entire book, Christian. It goes, commitment is nothing more than the deliberate decision that something will be so. How about that for a principle?
That's your favorite thing in that book?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't like that one too much?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Commitment is nothing more than the deliberate decision that something will be so. I feel like commitment is something that I feel is a very big principle in my life, dude. I asked you the question of, how are you crazy? That's how I'm crazy, Holmes. I'm crazy when it comes to my commitments. Like, viscerally so. Like, it's concerning even. Maeve, so nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us, dear friend. Oshan, I have the ingredients for the oil I was asked about. Maybe you can tell me what you think about it. Please reach out to her, Brother Joe. I don't know if you're on Discord. Nah, what you got? Okay, maybe you can send it here, actually. It won't be too hard to do that. I wanna add more oil. I can still smell them, but they have absorbed. DJs. Yeah. I'll do a protection rune. That smells really good. Nice. Nice. We're gonna go out today, so we only will be streaming for a single hour. I'm gonna try and be vigilant with time. Make sure I pull our cards before we have to leave. We're gonna go out for dinner with ex and current work friends. Danny is still working for...
Yes.
There's another Bulgarian friend, actually. I'm looking forward to it. I love you enjoying them, Mel. Thank you, Shan. You made this happen. If not for you, I would not be smelling these things. Like, I'm tripping out. I've been ceaselessly tripping out about the ability for us to, like, just think about it. This little thing, right, on the scale of our Earth, happened to be in my hands right now, and it used to be in the hands of dear Shannon. I think her fingerprints will be on it. Might be mine. Good day, Brother Ryan. So nice to have you here with me. How are you doing, dude? How are you feeling? I'm officially going to meet David Cho on December 20th in LA. No cell phone or anything. You have to leave your cell phone when you go? Or do you have to like leave it in the car when you meet him? But I don't know if you know, Uncle Becky, but that day, I think you might know, that day that you suggested I talk about full surrender, I added the 11 out of 10 for enthusiasm as well. So I hope you're feeling enthusiastic about it. No cell phone or anything. Full surrender. My experience will last anywhere from 1 minute to 24 hours. That is a little bit of a discrepancy.
What on earth?
Yeah, it could be 1 minute or it could be 24 hours. Sam Mayers, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too. Thank you for joining me, dear friend. How are you doing? Can your friends tell me? This is the thing I want to talk about today. Principles. What principles have you practiced and how have these principles influenced your life? What principles do you feel are important? Louisiana, look who it is. It's Rabbit in 3T. Hope you're well. It's been a minute. It's been a while, friend. And here we are. You know, like we've never been separate. Like all of this infinity, all of these moments that have passed have brought us back to this moment where we get to share some time with each other. Thank you for finding yourself here. Crazy rich people make crazy rules. Yeah. I've been getting wrecked by the rules over the last few days, Joy V. This week has been hard for me. I've been having a little bit of a hard, woe is me. My week was easy in comparison to what other people might have. And even though I know that, I would like to bring into our minds the principle of compassion, real compassion for ourselves. That even though your experience might not be as bad as someone else's, doesn't make your experience any less valid, doesn't make your suffering, your difficulties, your challenges any less challenging. You know, it's just different. Different. Maybe one of the principles we can bring into our minds is showing up for love regardless of the difficulty we face. Maybe that can be a principle of this space, that it's a principle for us to show up in love. Oh, man, I'm feeling anxious already, dude.
Anxiety assaulting you.
A little bit, though. I always feel awkward around new people. And Christian keeps telling me that I'm not awkward, but I feel like I'm putting on a show sometimes, you know, where I have to ride this edge of being myself and being a human at the same time. Being relatable.
I'm only human after all.
Do you consider yourself human, Christian?
Many times I've thought of myself as alien, coming from an alien womb.
Coming from an alien womb. For me, you know what? And it was kind of like odd, bro. As a young kid, especially during primary school, I considered myself and during that time of my life, I was very odd. So I considered myself alien, not only as I'm alien, but also as the aliens that are gonna come back for me, bro. And I would trip out, dude. I would actually trip out with this feeling where, you would have to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I would leave class, and I'd be walking to the bathroom, and I would have this deep sense of, they're gonna come and take me now, dude. I'm gonna walk this path, and then they're gonna beam me up, Scotty, and then they're gonna experiment on me, and they're gonna find things out.
I see.
Oh goodness, what is that, bro? What is that? Why would I think stuff like that as a kid? Maybe some previous life shit or something. The principles. We also called it frameworks the other day. The principles you live your life by become your life. And this principle of commitment that I've really brought into my mind is a very interesting and sometimes duality generating experience, where you create so much tension even inside of yourself, trying to make things be one way or another, hoping hoping that somehow things will change. Not realizing that things are the way they are. Almost not realizing, but creating a story that things are not the way they're supposed to be. And it's something I've specifically been thinking about in the context of where it is we are right now. Love you. Where are we right now? Considering again that our principles have brought us here. And the fact that you, friends, find yourself in this space with me and Shannon were talking the other day about how many things had to happen on an individual level, right? On a principles level, for you to find yourself in this moment here right now. Hey, Dr. Mega, it's nice to have you here, friend. How much had to happen for us to have this moment? Just this moment. Give me a minute, Joe, please hold, thank you. The principle that follows kindness and nurturing intentions. Yeah, your microphone is definitely picking up. Do you want to mute yourself? If you're not gonna say anything, like I can just see the microphone being like.
That is precisely why I thought it would be a good idea to skip out on this mission. Did I just hit record?
Yeah.
Stop. Stop. There we go.
It's okay. Christian is playing games. Hi, buddy. What's your diet? What do you mainly eat? Whatever I can get my hands on, dude. That's pretty much my current diet, though. I do not really think that I'm abundant enough right now to be super picky with my diet. So I eat what is available. I do consider the vegan lifestyle as noble, if that's a way to say it, as a cool principle. That's kind of connected to today's stream topic. I think it's a cool principle. But at this point in my life, I do not see any room for it. How about you, Saul? Are you vegan? What do you eat, dear friend? But you eat meat too for now. I do. Eat copious amounts of meat, actually. I'm also working out a lot, exercising, trying to be healthy in any way that I can. And eating food is a big part of that, unfortunately. Principles that tell us to help one another heal. I feel that's compassion again, right? The principle of compassion. And I feel it's interesting that you come into this space, Saul, that it is a compassionate thing. It's a compassionate principle that pushes people to go vegan. Please don't eat pork. Pork damages your body somehow. I see you have a little piggy on your profile pic as well. I don't eat a lot of pork. You don't eat that much pork, dude. I mean, maybe at Dad's place. Maybe at Dad's place. I don't eat that much pork. I eat anything but pork. Is it for religious reasons or just out of like a health principle? The principle of amplifying the chaotic nature of the world. Weirdly enough, I resonate with that one, Joe, where I really think of my way of approaching this life as a little bit chaotic as well, even though I do try to create structure, right? Like, this is a structured stream where I know that this is something I do daily, but there's a lot of chaos that happens in these streams sometimes where even though I'm showing up with the principle of principles today, for example, I don't know where these principles are going to take us. I don't know what conversation will arise. And there is an element of chaos in that. There's an element of beauty and uniqueness to this experience, to this life. I had to pay for flights and surrender a Monko NFT. So I'm embracing the full surrender. I hope it's worth it, Brother Brandon. And even if it's not financially worth it, you'll have an experience that no other being has had before, especially you. Thank you. I see Uncle Becky is joining us in the UNAT too. No, it's cause I'm, well, how do you say this? I'm a piglet, tithing to you, because I have Elon's brain chip. Don't even start with me, brah. I'll believe you. Oh, I'll actually believe you, dude. I want to believe you is the problem. The fact that a person like that, and like, you don't know me, But that is some shit that I would believe because I'm really into stuff like that, dude. I'm really into stuff like that. I would love to talk to a piglet.
I am a piglet.
I have a brain chip.
Stop eating.
Monko. Monko is true. What's the difference between a principal and a tenant? A principle to me is something that you stand for, where a tenant is something you do, right? You don't do your principles, do you? Do you do principles?
You live by your principles.
Yeah, you live by principles, and you can technically live by tenets as well. But I feel tenets are a little bit easier to not do. Your principles, I feel, are a little bit more stable. A little bit more secure. S-Rug is here too. I heard the news melt, and it's just another door. We will accomplish what we set out to do. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It is what it is. Thank you, Uncle Becky. Giving you some fist bumps, dude. Yeah. So if your friends are like, what's Uncle Becky talking about? There was a plan, let's say, to come to America. Already had the flight tickets bought and everything. But America has a pretty strict policy of who they want to let in. And I was not one of those people. The way it's spelled, there we go, Joe, nice. Never be anything but yourself, Mel. It will serve you far greater. I'm trying. That's one of the principles that I feel I live by, is not compromising who I am. Not compromising my own happiness for the sake of something, outside of myself. Hey, thank you, Shan. She's saying to Joe that clove is a mental stimulant, encourages sleep and stimulates dreams, and a sense of protection, courage. Clary sage enhances the ability to dream and relieve stress. Vetiver, grounding, stabilizing, helps cope with stress and recovery from emotional trauma. May be successful in treating ADHD or ADD. So I feel like it's almost like a dream tincture. That's the way I'm interpreting it right now. Shanna, thank you so much for this. You're awesome. I had a feeling that I was sleepy, smelly kind of oil. There you go. Yeah, I feel just hearing Shannon's description as well. Shan, are you a fellow witchy person or a herbalist? She's a medicine mother. Yes. Louiana, actually reach out to her and find out what she does. I hope you feel the benefits. Can I be both, Louis? There we go. Of course. Fantastic. I just believe in natural healing, and Mama Gaia gives us everything we need to heal. It's true. She provides. Let me show you, actually, so you can see. Let me show Valor. She has these little oil rollers. A little steel ball. And then she puts like a bunch of natural oils. Like this Valor one, for example, has caprylic or capric triglyceride as an oil. Black spruce oil, camphor oil, blue tansy, frankincense, and geranium as like the flavonoid oil. And then she puts them with a carrier, and then you can put it on your skin. I've applied oil 6 times today at this point. I really enjoy it. Melt, would it be easier for you to come to Canada? Maybe. I don't know if Canada has as strict of rules. Maybe it would be easier for me. There's a warm lump of cat laying on my back. A warm lump of cat. Like, I understand that was something that was cute, Joy Vive, but unfortunately my brain is sick and twisted. So warm lump of cat does not generate the most wholesome of imagery. Stop it, brain, stop it. Warm lump. Stop it, dude. It's just a lump that is cat and on her back, okay? That sounds itchy. Laying in a cuddle puddle with Joy Vive and her cats. Thank you for the love, dear friends. The principles. I feel like I was being faced with an understanding in this dream-esque, meditative-esque space. Specifically in this context of living well, what it means to live well. Do you believe you're living well, Christian?
Absolutely.
Why?
Mostly it's comparison to the outside world.
You see, that's what I thought. And that's like during today's yoga session, I came to the same conclusion that the mind tries to live from a principle of comparison, where it's like, oh, these other people are doing so and so, are living their lives so and so, I'm living my life this way. So as a result, my principles are better, right? Where I feel like when you move more into your heart space, this place of compassion arises, where the ultimate principle that we can induce is a compassion principle, that no matter what it is we're faced with, no matter the challenges that we kind of have come up in our lives, that the most important thing we can be is compassionate. And I feel that's one of the principles that has, at least in part, allowed me to live well. Being compassionate with yourself, being soft with yourself, realizing that you make mistakes, also being willing to admit when you make mistakes. I think that is a principle that I try to live by. I make mistakes all the time. All the freaking time I make mistakes. I do stupid shit. I get irritated. Like I feel that's one of my biggest mistakes, is getting irritated. Because it usually is an expectation. That's why we get irritated, right? We expect people to know things, to do things, to be a certain way, to understand where we're coming from. And we can get ourselves so worked up when it isn't that way. I'm trying to be aware of that. I'm trying to pay attention to my own ability to get irritated. It's not a principle that I want to live by. I don't want to be irritated or irritating, even though I probably am sometimes. Nonetheless, sounds edgy. Melty, the squirrel that visits, sure, your stream has to be returned after weeks of absence. She shows up during your streams. So Brother Joe usually sits on his porch while watching my streams, and there's this squirrel that has been consecutively visiting him on stream, and especially when he's sitting outside listening to me. So in my mind, I'm imagining like a cell phone or his laptop or whatever, tablet, kind of like projecting the sound of my voice into this space. And this little squirrel, dude, hearing the song of Meltmore, if you will, being like, what's happening there? Coming closer. Sharing some love with you too. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me again of our beloved little porch squirrel. Melty's porch squirrel, yours, Joe. Both of ours. We all have our moments, Melt. What matters is that you keep trying to be better than you are. Thank you. She responds to your voice. I'm honored. I really am. To be listened to by a little squirrel. Dude, like, I don't know if you were there for that day. You might not have been. But we have a friend, two friends, Corey and Eden.
Corey Taylor?
No. Corey and Eden had a child, and we called a little fruit cup. And Corey was watching my stream, dude. I think it might have been Eden watching my stream that day. And they have Fruit Cup watching with them. And as I'm moving my hands, kind of like talking with my body language, she does the same. Oh, she mimics the way I move my hands. Like my brain got decimated with the melting that day. I was like, excuse me. I couldn't believe. I was just thinking to myself, like that I'm influencing a like 1-year-old child right now. They're like trying to mimic body language. So the trip I'm going through right now is principles again, right? To live with, to want to embody principles so pure that you would be okay with a child mimicking that. And that's a lot though. That is so much responsibility. And yet, I'm trying to embrace more responsibility, dude. I'm gonna have to be so responsible, Christian. Oh no, dude, stop it. I'm trying to imagine all of the stuff I'll have to be responsible for.
The consequences of my own actions. No.
No, I don't want to responsibilities. Do you think that's funny? That's not funny, dude.
Freaking hilarious.
Again,
I'm living in peace, bro. I'm gonna be Wizard King.
I'm gonna work myself to death, though. um, and not from a place of nihilism, right? Just from a place of really wanting things to get done. Really, like desperately wanting things to get done. One of the things, and this has been a strong one in my mind since our festival, dude, and I want to do is make beautiful spaces, dude. Create spaces that people want to be in. But building anything, building a freaking brick hut, is expensive.
Yep.
Just, yeah. I'm confident. I can do that shit. Yeah. Smelled some valor on my wrists. Hey, Jovan, thank you for the love, dear friend. Plucking at the heartstrings, right? Squirrel came back for the new superior audio and was like, yeah, whatever's happening here right now, I can hear crystal clear. That doesn't surprise me. Yay, Lane! I added a bunch of 69s in yesterday's flower, and I was thinking about you, dude. What do you think about the new mics? Audio quality. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we finally did it. Melt has an existential crisis live on stream. Yes. Just casual melting down, existential crisising. That's pretty much every stream. We should just call it existential crises. Melt's existential crisis, just a perpetual loop of existential crisis every single day. I don't really think of myself as in an existential crisis right now. More just facing the reality of what I'm going to have to do. I'm not scared of.
How does that make you feel?
I'm not scared of existing. I'm scared of change, as we all are, I guess. Because right now, at this period of my life, I want to say comfortable. New mic, nice. Yeah, dude, check this. Look at this thing, dude. Look at it. It's so cute and tiny. And it does its job, hopefully well. Hey, Lindsay!
Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan, dude. It's nice to have you here, Fred. Thank you for joining me. Oh, dear pleasure. How's everybody? I'm doing well, Lane. I'm doing well. I'm realizing how much needs to be done. How many dependents I'll have just as kids, as a partner, as employees, as I don't want to say society, but I'm thinking about these spaces that I would like to build and the political nature that arises when a bunch of people spend time in the same space together. Like coming back to today's stream topic, what principles are we going to have to embody to make these things a reality? If Christian is going to keep chatting in the background, he should have a mic.
Never!
You want to get mic'd again?
Never.
He doesn't want to get mic'd. He did kind of was resistant about getting today. He didn't really want to say too much, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure. You're gonna be perfectly fine. Mic'd him anyway, and then I could see the little every single time you press the button, and I was thinking about you friends hearing the click 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 click, and it was melting my brain. Melt, if it's easier for you to enter Canada, you can totally stay with me and we can road trip across the country while staying just north of the US border. Maybe some of the American friends can come through then. Louise, yes, excellent idea. The problem, Louisiana. I think that's the way I'm supposed to say it, right?
Such a pretty name.
I think that's because it goes Lois, Anna.
Or she'll kill you and harvest your organs.
Loisana. I don't think that's that you wanted to visit. Could meet us in the place like Vancouver, Winnipeg, Toronto, or Calgary. So this is the thing. This is the thing, Louisiana. I am at this point in my life still too poor to afford flight tickets, and that's technically why the American government didn't want me to come to America in the first place. So the person that purchased my flight ticket for me purchased it with the intent to see me, you know, and they live all the way in California. And it wouldn't exactly be reasonable for me to expect of them to both pay for my ticket and then to drive all the way to Canada to see me. So even though I really like that idea, I also really dislike the idea of trying to take advantage of someone from a principles perspective, right? It goes against my principle. These principles, like locking yourself in a box, like building your own prison, right? But the principles you choose is going to be the prison you live in. Yeah, so you better build a good prison for yourself. You know, make it nice, make it make it florally. Like, am I being nihilistic right now?
Nope.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. You choose. You choose. You can choose the principles of, you know, I'm the only one, like solipsism, right? I'm the only one that exists, and I can, you know, just kill people and fuck, dude. My mind goes to kill people and eat their organs, dude. And I was like,
Spending too much time with me, bro.
yeah, dude, like Christian brain damages me. He's so dark that I inadvertently go a little bit darker myself as well. But the point I'm trying to make is that if that is your principle, then you're gonna live a life of, like, you know, potentially fear, of angst, of guilt, of judgment of self, of disdain for other humans, of seeing other humans as things to be eaten instead of things to be conversated with. Things, I don't even want to say humans are things, people, right? You can see people as food instead of as actual people. And you can live by those principles, but that'll be your jail. You'll live in a world where that is your truth. And that does not sound like the life I want to live. That sounds a little brutal to me. So yeah. Brutality. Embrace change as an adventure. The universe has taken care of you up to this point and always will melt. And I honestly believe that that is going to be the case for all of us, Shan. I think based on the principles that I notice our group, our space working with, and I'm thinking about Connor right now, doing work, trying to build principles. I can feel him. I can feel him like struggling. Fuck, Connor, dude. Love you, dude. Sending you vibes. Yeah, the universe is gonna take care of us. We're living by the principles. Life is a crazy thing. I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. Lane, like, I feel you're one of the friends that has also taught me the principle of commitment, dude. Lane has multiple albums. Yeah, multiple albums of music that he's made. He's studying music right now. He's performing in multiple different bands, doing gig work, being part of the like not marching band, the orchestra. Like, the dude is actually, he's committing. His principle of I'm a musician. Why am I having a hard time saying that word? He's committing to it. He's making it his reality. It is pronounced Lois. Ah, like Lois Lane. Loisana. That's even Loisana. And do people just say Lois to you, or do they say Lois with the Anna attached to it as well? Or is your second name Anna? Gabbity goo, gabday go, bibbity skis, clap it, shmeesh, zip zwap, gabbity goo. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, dude. Your friend. How are you, B? Don't eat brains. Yeah.
Eat brains.
Don't eat brains, please.
Eat brains.
Let's smoke to not eating brains.
Let's smoke to eating brains.
Let's stop with Christian. I'm happy that he's not mic'd right now.
Eat all the brains.
Just like,
I mean, obviously that's how you get smarter, dude.
yeah,
Eat what you want to become.
Some of your friends might have watched Heroes, that like old TV show. And that dude, you know what his power was basically he was a watchmaker before he got his powers. And his powers is to understand intricately how things work, dude. And then he would open people's skulls.
Nice.
And he would go through their brain. Yeah, he would go through their brain to find out how their power works. And as soon as he did, he could use their power, dude. Becoming super powerful. And then there was this Whammons who could just infinitely heal herself. And then he opened her brain, though. He took her power, and then she healed herself. She survived him inspecting her brain, dude. Oh, goodness. Why is my brain like this? Please, stop.
That's quite violent.
that smells more essential oils. Please save me, Shannon. do not eating brains. To principles, to the principle of love, to the principle of peace, to the principle of compassion and self.
More brain. Eat the brain.
Me and Christian had like a little bit of a spat this morning.
Ja, zie me wat.
Because of my own stupidity. Like being a prissy little asshole sometimes. Like I was like I was up since 5 a.m. this morning. And I'm like pouring myself into this fractal of like understanding again. And there's like a really cool piece of tech called GPT, you know, and it's like on its third iteration right now by a company called OpenAI. It's really good tech. And it's going to revolutionize the way we live our lives, especially his. He's a programmer. So it's very much ingrained in his world. And there's a new model called ChatGPT, which is basically the GPT model that you can access through the medium of text, you know, like human language. And I'm pouring myself into this fractal, trying to understand, trying to see how these things can apply to my life, can apply to my principles. And Christian comes out and he asks me what I'm doing, and I tell him, and kind of like goes along me sharing this understanding that I cannot use this tech right now because so many people are trying to use it that it's just crashing the servers. And he's like, yeah, suffer. And I'm like, oh, fuck, oh, why are you like this? And then he asked me, what is it? And we've talked about this on stream. So I trip the fuck out about the amount of conversations, right? Like this catalog of space, of like stuff. And then just suddenly it disintegrates in my mind, thinking that, did Christian know what I was talking about this whole time? Or was he just like, And then I don't know if I was mean. Was I mean? Maybe a little bit.
You're pretty mean.
I was mean. I was like, dude, we've had conversations about this. How do you not
The line
know?
that really got me is that you're embarrassed for me.
That was mean, you know, and it came from this perspective where I was like, I was tripping out about Christian having a conversation with another developer, and then maybe like, I mean, Johan like has been using these AI tools for a while right
Johan
now,
is
right?
going to be a master's student in computer science next year.
Yeah, you have been working in the field. You're more gemastered.
Equivalent.
You're more gemastered,
There's a
Christian.
massive difference between education and industry.
You're more mastered. So I was like, bro, what do you mean you don't understand what I'm talking about? You need to know. You need to know these things. And then he like looks at me, almost like like fuck you. And then he closes the fucking door. I'm like, ah. And then I trip out. I was like looping. And I coming like the reason I'm sharing this is from this perspective of admitting when we're wrong, admitting when we fucked up, admitting when we were less than ideal. And I apologize. And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry for being immature and a little bit catty, you know, bringing my nails out for something that was pretty stupid. And then I share in the text with him as well. The reason I felt so ajarred, so taken aback, is because we've had conversations about this technology, and upon reflection, he knows what I'm talking about again. And like I feel I've been inspired by the conversations I've had with Christian. I'm a better person for having had these conversations. I have more ideas of how I can implement this technology than I've ever, you know, had before. And I was like, what do you mean? I was so shocked. I was taken aback for a second there. I'm sorry again, Christian.
Okay, I'm not mad.
He's not mad, but he could be. Fortunately, he lives by the principles of not holding grudges as well.
I think it's really silly to keep being mad about something when you're trying to resolve it. So.
Yeah, especially if you love the person you're mad at, dude. You know, because then you're just creating an experience of not being able to love one another as fully as you know you're capable of. You know, as a principle, don't hate the people you love. Come on, how about that? I'm doing well, Lane. Arms are sore. For Melton Christian's workout yesterday, mine too. Like Shannon actually pushed herself with us, dude. But
Don't
I'm
worry,
good.
I think we're
Otherwise,
all in
yeah,
good.
like like this part of my shoulder is like wrecked. Hope you're doing all right. How's that girlfriend? Do let us know, Lane. It's a beautiful day, and I'm well, feeling grateful. Love y'all. How are you doing? Thank you for asking, Gab. I'm happy that you're doing well as well. I've been a little bit sad. Oh, I've been a little bit low. I won't lie. The fact that I can't come to America has weighed heavy on my heart. I've been unbuilding a bunch of fractals, right? Like all of these ideas, all of these hopes and aspirations, all of these experiences, meeting new friends, being able to, see Shannon's Space, being able to be on Haywire Hill and eat mushrooms with Uncle Becky, being able to go out with Jovan, onto a lake as the sun rises, being able to spend time with Joy Vive in California. Like all of these things that I was like looking forward to doing suddenly ripped from me, and I'm like sitting as a little kid, just having like an adult take my ice cream away from me, and I'm just like, bruh, why, why are you like this? But I'm staying with the principle of commitment, of love, of compassion for myself and for this experience. Joe
That's
says,
a tough one, bro. I would have been pretty pissed myself.
it's okay though. I can continue tripping myself. I can continue suffering, right? Wishing for things to be differently, or I can accept. Coming back to the understanding of the stream that we did on that day as well. Joe says, life is an unending series of waves. Some of them can be ridden, others have to be ducked. Our placement and approach has a very large influence on how you negotiate the next wave. Yeah, I agree completely. I really do. Maybe we should make it a principle to be good at swimming. I'm good, Gab. Glad it's Friday. You good? Doggo's fluffy and well. Thank you for asking. Beloved, Joy B. Joel is here too. I've been missing you, friend. How are you doing? People call me Louisiana or just LA.
Louisiana.
Louis, like Louis Lane. Louisiana. Oh my goodness, for a second, I thought that pipe was a massive blunt. People have thought that. This is a pipe I made myself. I don't know why, but I'm uncharacteristically proud of this little mouthpiece. You know how much missions it took me to get that chamfer, and then a flat, like going on something that sands from a level to yeah, dude, with my hands. Oh. You cannot sand this thing with a machine. You have to do it with your hands.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, something I manifested. Something that can transport marijuana smoke to my lungs, that I don't have to do it with my lips. I've seen a video, bro, of someone putting weed in this like little corner of their pinky, right? And then lighting it on fire and smoking the weed like that, bro. Like people are crazy. What?
Wouldn't.
There's a whole, I've forgotten the game's name now. Team Fortress meme. Lamar Joy, Melt over here smoking a thigh-sized joint. Yes, if I start smoking blunts like this in stream, you know that something has happened. Like I'm not having a good time. Love you, Jack Ju. Thank you. Good day, Joe. Thank you, Gravity Goo, for sending some love to us too, man. How are you doing? Oh, how has the experience been of just being? How do you feel your principles have been influenced over the last year? Have you set any certain principles in place that you feel have served you? I'm embarrassed for you. Yeah, that's pretty mean. It was. I agree. But I cannot. And I stand by this, Holmes. I cannot accept that you are left in the dark in a conversation of other developers. So
I'm really not.
I cannot accept this. I'm just like, GPT is going to be a pretty big conversation point probably for the next few years. right? And the I know he knows what it is. He does know what it is. It was just in that moment where there was a second of dissonance, and the way that when I shared the whole embarrassing thing, the way that I justified again was like if you sew with your hands, you know, because that's what he does. He codes with his hands right now, right? You sew with your hands your whole life, and then something comes out that's called a sewing machine. And then you, as someone that sews with your hands, does not know what a sewing machine is, right? And if you go to like a space where a bunch of people that sew come together and buy material or talk ideas for new sewing projects, and someone is like, "Have you heard about this new thing called a sewing machine?" and you don't, that could be embarrassing. But that's just again my ego wanting to be the smartest person in the room. You know, it's like, I know so many things. Another principle that I don't really think I should be living by. It's good to be smart and it's good to know things, but it's like adding more pieces of paper to a trash can ultimately. I had a dream about Sasquatch last night. It was crazy. Sasquatch. I mean, that is pretty crazy. Like, did you approach him and smoke a joint with him, or was he like in the distance, hiding behind trees? Seriously? I want to have dreams about Sasquatch, right? Right? Like that's one of my cousins. Well, I want to go and have a chat with Sasquatch in my dream. What happened in your dream? It was terrifying. Not all like Harry and the Hendersons. I don't know the reference. Don't unbuild them, melt. Just say for later. That's a good point. Thank you. We'll get there. Every day gets us closer to it. This is true. I see that. Ocean sounds interesting. Girlfriend is good. Been getting through college finals together. Last night she went to see me play in the symphony and met my mother and grandparents. Dude, think about that shit, bro. You're participating, playing in a symphony. Your girlfriend comes and watches.
That is quite nice.
That is pretty
That's one
sick.
of my dreams.
All right?
One
Thank
day
you.
standing, reading poetry, my girlfriend watching me.
You want to get schooled? Lane is like 20. Shoot at the hip. It's like, yeah, Christian, you're clearly not doing well enough.
Life is a marathon, not a race.
Exactly. We're happy for you, Lane. You're giving us hope, dude. Joe, I'd love to hear more. What did it look like? Like, my mind has a pretty clear image of what Sasquatch is supposed to look like, but that's probably wrong. Susanna, hello to you. Thank you for joining us, dear friend. Like 12-foot tall chimpanzee, just snatching people up and slinging them around. Everybody was around the fire and singing, and suddenly it was chaos, bruh. Bruh, I'm just imagining like this kumbaya, people like sitting around a fire, and then this fucking Sasquatch just like grabbing you, bro. Like look at me, Holmes. Like finger over shoulder around your body, and just like yeeting you. Oh goodness, that's so terrifying. Tall, skinny, bipedal, and fast. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf even better. I was just like trying to keep my head above water. Susanna is surfing right now. Imagine a furry Godzilla-like creature. That is horrific. That is so cursed, bruh. Godzilla, very cool. And then I add fur to Godzilla, and my brain is like, no, dude. It has a alligator face, right?
Oh.
The alligator face with fur. My brain is like,
That's not a Sasquatch.
that is wrong. You stop thinking that. That's great, Lane. I'm so happy to hear that. How exciting. How is her roommate? I remember you said that she was going to the ER. Her roommate is okay. They're back and doing well. People are resilient. People are very resilient. I've seen people survive things that I was like, you should be dead.
Dude, that story of the guy with the construction stuff, dude. What the hell?
Dude, for me, yeah. I have to pull a card and get ready to leave. We're gonna be going at 5. Susanna, that is a fractal I was trying to explain. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for, echoing. I appreciate you sharing your love. Even and Angela, thank you for becoming a fan. Nice to have you here with me. Oh my gosh, I had a similar dream, Joe. It was about a lion to a bunch of kitties. No violence, just being too rough with them. I was so scared. angst. Comparison is the thief of joy. This is true. One of my girlfriends fell off a cliff once.
Oh my word.
It's just
That's so hardcore.
falls off a cliff.
How do you say that sentence? I had a girlfriend once, she fell off a cliff.
I imagine, Joy doing it in the exact way she just did, where we're just like having casual conversations, and then she just interjects, yeah, this is a thing that happened. I think the only reason she survived is because she was so strong and fit. Christian, you have to get more jacket though, so you can survive falling off cliffs.
Maximum jacket.
So happy for these experiences, Lane. I'm mushing over here. I love that love that you brought to this space, right? Like Lane has been a massive part of these streams as well. You know Jovan, like one of the OGs. And the fact that he has gone through this transition of being in high school, creating music, to going through the trip of whether or not he should be going to college, making the decision, going to college, being a part of the orchestra, finding a relationship, showing up for the things he's supposed to, and now he's busy with his finals. I mean, this year's finals already as well. And this is just the start. Imagine 5 years from now, Lane is finished with college, absolutely slaying, massive headliner, selling out stadiums full of people, absolutely rocking their worlds. I look forward to seeing that with you, Brother Lane, of all of you friends. I think whoa, Joy. And the plot twists, she's amazing. I'm glad she's still here. I've never fallen off any cliffs. I don't think I've had too many near-death experience. I drowned as a baby.
Pretty sure I've just had, no, not really, not even.
Not even?
Never.
The closest in my remembering life that I've gotten to a near-death experience is listening to music and not paying attention to the road and almost getting hit by a car. You know what I was listening to, Christian?
Linkin Park?
Imagine Dragons. So that specifically that song. Hey, Skippy Babbit, and I was like, and then I almost got hit by a car. In another life I did. Oh, imagine, bro, that would be a little bit anticlimactic. Maybe it would be very climatic. Drowned as a baby. Yeah, I was dead, Joy Vive. I actually died as a baby. My parents literally scooped me with the leaf net out of the bottom of the pool. I'm so cursed. Oh man, that's some cursed information. I should forget that. It's amazing. She survived. Love is true, Connor. I was talking about you today. Today's whole thing is about principles and how we actively try to establish better and better principles in our life. And the more we establish principles, the more we see them influence our life, and then we get to reflect and establish principles. And it becomes this loop that we're a part of. And I was going through this fractal of trying to establish principles in myself, and I was noticing the stories I was telling myself. And then I thought about you, and the challenges you're going through right now. And I was sending you some love, dude. It's nice to have you here, Brother Bay. It's amazing. She survived. She was protected for sure. Definitely trying to baby. Yeah. Melt summoned you. We did. Tutors is here. How are you, friend? I was a lifeguard, swim instructor for 8 years. Yeah, Christian. He's like, come, time. I would save you all if you teach me how to swim. Thank you. My parents were supposed to teach me how to swim. And they should have maybe closed the gates, to the swimming pool. Yeah, let's not get into if my parents are good parents or not. It's almost died a few times. I'll have to tell you about them all sometimes. You've been in the hospital multiple times, Joy Vive. I look forward to having conversations about near-death experiences around a fire one day. Dude, envision a chimpanzee dragging something in one hand while running. It's just kind of things around like a rag doll and chimps never let go. Let's go. That's pretty brutal, dude. I think that's even more brutal than what I thought. Yeah, I'm happy that you survived your dreams. Still here for it. Joel saying, Melt, I too fell into a swimming pool as a baby and had to be pulled out. So weird we have that in common. Dude, me and Brother Joe yesterday had a synchronicity with childhood experiences that was also very resonant. The fact that you went through something similar and you get to have this. Dude, I'm sure at this point that there is probably an extreme life-changing principle, synchronicity, that every single one of us went through, and that's the reason. I drowned as a baby. Joe too? Oh goodness, my brain is melting right now. Been through so many near-death experiences, it's not even funny. And here you are, strong enough to survive. Okay, we have like 5 minutes left. Let's pull a card, see what the universe has to say. Ooh, Uncle Becky, thank you for the invite. Tuni, it's nice to have you too. And Esoteric Quest, what country are you in? South Africa. Are you reading the chat? I am now. I'm sorry for missing it a little bit. I stream on YouTube primarily as my main platform. So if you want to see my full face and you want to have better audio, I have like microphones as well. You can go and check me out at Meltmore on YouTube. Thank you, friend. How are you all drowning as babies? That's terrifying. Yeah, that is. I pooped my pants today. Verb Gabo. Oh, damn. Love you. We love you too, Gab. Me too. Me too. I also did that. So much. I became a fan. Thank you, friend. I'm going to pull a card. We're going to see if there is something the universe wants to say. I almost got squished between two boats, but my dad grabbed my leg and pulled me up before they crushed me. No drowning, just almost got my head popped like a grape.
Nice.
Nice. Survived. I feel we all probably, went through more near-death experiences than we know. Just your body actively surviving right now, right? Like, think about that. There's like vectors from the outside world actually trying to kill you. Like they want you to die. They really, because they want to eat you. And your body is like, nah, fam. No. How about I'm gonna immunologies you to death. I'm gonna gooi all of these white blood cells. I got all of this information with T cells. I don't know what this card is just yet. Hello, beautiful and fabulous souls. Who needs tears? We're just about finishing today's stream, so you're joining us perfectly synchronistically to see a card pull. I'm thinking about Maxine. I'm sending her love too. Let's see what this card holds for us. And let's see, we'll see it together. Flip a car a few times in the passenger seat, going 90 on a 30. Love to see it. I have only been in two like proper accidents. One as a kid, and my dad drove the car into a little ditch because he was driving too fast, and we went through like a knuck, and then we caught some air time, and then landing off the road into something. And then the other time we got hit from the side by another car. Who needs tears? Time for a card. It's true. Yo, tunes. How's finals going, bro? Let's see if the card helps. Ooh. Pele's Summons. Card number 33. Some lava. With a what do you call that again? Hexagon. No, is it a hexagon? No. What do you call that shape?
Pentagon.
No, is it a pentagon?
It is a pentagon.
Isn't a pentagon the star one?
Nope.
Pentagram. Yeah.
Pentagon.
Pentagon. Thank you, Lane. You're right. You're right as well, Christian. 33. Pele's Summonings. Regeneration, transcendence, and excellence. The five-sided geometry of the pentagon informs this card and speaks of regeneration, transcendence, and excellence. These elements fuel the invitation and directive of this powerful volcano goddess. She presents her summons as energy flowing from her rainbow-adorned crown. It's pretty sick, rainbow-adorned crown. It's like this big crown that goes around, and then she has like these little fractals as well. It comes out. At the core of this call is a pentagonal spiraling cosmos. This card summons you to recognize your personal potential and transcend obstacles to the expression of your life's purpose. Every life holds the promise of excellence and fulfillment. Sometimes we become caught up in life's flow and we lose sight of dreams and visions in the process. It may be helpful to shift your attention to that of the observer so that you may gain a wider perspective of where you are today. Are you content with your life's direction? Are you following your bliss? This may mark a time when you will make decisions that change the fundamental nature of the way you live. It could indicate a time of regenerating, of renewing faith, of finding your personal truth. Conversely, this card may help you realize that the truth that is most important to you is the very essence of the life you are already living. This is a summons to excellence and the renewal of your personal truth. Yow! Yow! 333, there we go, Joe. The finals seem more stressful than they actually are. I'm basically done. You've so got this, too. It is university as well, so it's an extra level of chaos. Just kind of loving the end of this year. It feels a little bit melancholic, a disaster of a season. You got this. Procrastinating. Could be done already. Probably going to the bar all weekend, though. I feel it. I hope you don't, Connor. I really hope you don't, dear friend. I know you know that the drinking doesn't help. It doesn't help, Christian. It does not help. It postpones bad feelings, the worry, the dread sometimes to later. And then you have to experience all of that dread, worry, hungover, feeling like death, body trying to survive. Oh, this card, right? Just one under the 34, but still one so beautiful. Please don't spend the weekend at the bar. I agree. Thank you, Joy Vive. I feel like I shouldn't be like it's not for me to say what you can do with your time, but I still don't want you to. I'm not crying. You're crying. Your life, the very essence of your life, is the thing that's meant to be lived. You are the principal. It does not help. Talking from recent experience, it does not help. It postpones. It postpones, and sometimes postponing bad feelings can help. It can, but it doesn't help. It doesn't do anything but postpone it. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing this time and this space, for reflecting on our principles. I love you. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye, everyone. The painting that I've been dragging my feet to finish looks really similar to that card. I'll post it in the Discord. Please do. Thank you for saying that as well. I'm happy that I caught that before.
Goodbye.
Cheers, friends. Love you. Goodbye.